Well, good cold Thursday morning to you. Tennessee Valley temperatures now in the 20s and 30s. Everyone below freezing. A lot of frost out there. So you might want to give yourself a little extra time to warm up the old car because that wind chill going to be covered this morning. 28 in Dayton, 29 in Dalton. Just about, again, everyone in the 20s. But the winds are light. So the wind chill not a big factor. Temperatures will climb into the 40s later today. Increasing clouds, some cold rain later on, and maybe even a little bit of sleet or snow mixing in this morning. We have a little bit of moisture that has made it far enough north, and it's showing up as pink on our radar, which means this could be mixed precipitation. Now, this isn't going to be a big deal, and it would be short-lived, but parts of northeast Alabama from Dunlap southbound into northwest Georgia, don't be completely caught off guard if you do have a little bit of sleet or even a few flakes mixing in this morning, and that's just with that northern extent of moisture. Most of the moisture this morning stays well to our south, but later today, that's when we're going to have some colder rain moving in. Notice your timestamp there, 6 o'clock. Rain starting to spread across middle Tennessee and parts of northeast Alabama, and then it continues to shift to the east during the evening. But notice that pink that's showing up parts of Bledsoe, Grundy, Van Buren counties. There is the chance that it will be just cold enough for a little bit of winter weather initially as this precipitation moves in. Some sleet, maybe a few flakes. Now, a lot of the winter weather stays north of I-40, which is just outside of our coverage area, and just about everyone just going to be dealing with plain old rain. But notice your timestamp here. Near midnight, most of this is starting to shift to the east, and by Friday morning, I'm thinking most of this is going to be out of here with the exception of a few leftover showers. But again, initially, I would say between, we'll say 7 and 10, some of this could start out as a sleet, snow, rain mix for parts of Ray, Meigs, Grundy, Bledsoe, Marion, and Sequatchie. This would primarily be for the northern extent of these counties, and I'm not expecting any kind of accumulation as of now, but this is kind of a tricky forecast. But I think any meaningful winter weather is going to stay, again, north of I-40, and that's where we have some of those winter weather advisories for places like Cookeville and Crossville. So if you're traveling in those areas, just keep in mind there could be some light accumulations of snow, sleet, and even some freezing rain, while we stay mainly, again, a cold rain here across much of our coverage area. And you can see some of that light snow accumulation also possible for Nashville north. Really, the closer to the Kentucky border that you get, you'll have a better chance of seeing that. So that really excludes most of our area. But of course, we'll watch that precipitation as it initially moves in. And as for our rain chances, again, in amounts, I think up to a half of an inch is going to be possible in places like Dalton, Calhoun, maybe even Chattanooga. So not a big weather maker, but certainly something we'll keep a close eye on as we get into the late evening. So again, a few flurries possible this morning, cloudy this afternoon, rain this evening, and it is going to be a frosty morning. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s, climbing into the 40s later on tonight. A cold rain, and again, some of our northern areas could have that wintry mix initially, and then moving into Friday, maybe a few lingering morning showers. Saturday drying out with plenty of cloud cover. Sunday, maybe a few showers. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. And then next week, we're slowly going to climb from the 40s on Monday back to near 60 as we get into the middle of next week.